Raphael, are you ready? 30 seconds on my whistle.
Howdy, my name is Raphael Idrogo. I'm a junior at Texas A&M University with a majoring in kinesiology with a focus on motor behavior, and it's my dream to become a physical therapist in the future. I've kind of always watched Dr. Pepper Tuition Scholarship on the halftimes of college football conference championship games. Growing up, I'm a big college football guy, so just seeing the giveaways kind of made me really want to try it out for myself, and that's kind of the like, hey, I could probably do that one day to not only just kind of go out there and put myself out there for fun, but as well as make it applicable to my college tuition and hopefully like that. So this year, Dr. Pepper made it to where we had to submit entries via TikTok. So I made a TikTok with my dad. He helped me out in making the video. We went to our local community college back in San Antonio during our fall break for the university. So I just put it together. I could be like 5-6 hours out there at the community college and just filmed, and that's really it. Junior year of high school, I broke my ankle during a football game and required both surgery and physical therapy. While I was rehabbing, I saw how the doctors treated and interacted with the patients, and I thought that this is something I can pursue in the future. Up to this point, I've been relying on working retail out in town as well as student loans in order to pay for my tuition. With PT school in the future, it will be considerably even more expensive. With the Dr. Pepper Tuition Scholarship, I'll be able to focus on my studies and become the best physical therapist I can be without incurring any more student debt. Through becoming a physical therapist, I'll be able to improve my community by giving my patients the same care that I received when I went to rehab. Being able to relate with them and have that full circle moment, I'll not be only helping future athletes, but anybody who comes into my care.
He's a very empathetic and a very genuine young man. And so when he got hurt his junior year in high school, he got the opening kickoff for the first playoff game. So 6 seconds into the game, he gets tackled. Not a bad tackle. Just he said that his cleat got stuck in the turf and just kind of torqued his leg, and he ended up breaking his leg right above his right ankle. Required a plate and screws. And so one of the things that he had mentioned in his TikTok video was that one of his goals to becoming or one of the reasons why he'd like to become a physical therapist was because he wanted to have that full circle moment. He saw how the doctors had helped and treated him. And at that point, that's when he saw that or realized that this might be something he'd like to pursue.
He played on both sides of the ball. His junior and senior year, he was more on the offensive side, played receiver. And, when you talk to anyone that knows Raphael, and I went and talked to his old position coaches, our old offensive coordinator, Coach Gishry, and all they could harp about was how he was an unselfish player and he did everything he could, for the betterment of his team, and he asked more for, kids like that. He was also, a scholar in the classroom, did everything that was, expected of him. And, he's one of those guys that, you remember once they graduate, and every year we go through 130 kids in the program, 200 kids. And he's one of the few that, stands out, that he always did the right thing. And he was always, he was always there being a team player.
I believe I waited about maybe 2.5 weeks or so until I actually got like initial message from Dr. Pepper on TikTok. They DM'd me. So at that moment, I was like, okay, I was kind of freaking out, but the message said like, we're considering you, but fill out like some other information. So I filled out the other information leading up to it. Then I believe that's on a Friday, and like the following Wednesday, I actually got a call from one of like the representative from Dr. Pepper, and they called me like, hey, like I always want like you have a few minutes to talk. I'm like, yes, I do. I just got like my normal psychology class. I'm like, yes, like I'm able to talk. Like, okay, well, we just want to let you know that you have been selected as the finalist for the Pac-12 Conference Championship game in Las Vegas. And just hearing those words kind of like felt like a weight lift off my shoulders in a way. I mean, like just sending in the video, you're one of hundreds, maybe even thousands that submit that video. And just a matter of them looking at you and them seeing you and them picking you to have this opportunity. It's just a real blessing just to be one of those 15 out of like the Power 5 Conference Championship games. And so, of course, as soon as I got off the phone with them, I called my dad up. I'm like, because he's the one who made the video with me. And I remember asking him, like, hey, like, what are you doing December 2nd? He's like, I don't know, like, you tell me. I'm like, well, we're going to Las Vegas.
So once he got the call and was actually selected, I think I was off of work the next day. And so there I go to Home Depot and buying lumber and looking up online the exact specifications and the height and the size of the circle, the hole, and everything like that. And there I am in the backyard, cutting and making this little A-frame type of a target for him. And then so then one of the weekends he was still there in College Station, so we took it over there to him, and he had it there at his apartment for a good while. And practice there. And we told him, just like with anything, you need to get out there and just don't focus on time initially. Just, get that muscle memory and get the feel of it, and just be able to put that ball, into that target. And then once it comes time, all you got to do is just turn up the speed and try and put them a little quicker.
Per day, I would say I practice for about like 45 minutes, about an hour, just going. When I get like my little rhythm of my zone, kind of put my headphones in, and I just go at it. So I usually set myself like a time at 45 minutes, about an hour, then head to class, things like that. And remember, like the last day, I think like the Tuesday before we left to the airport in San Antonio to fly out, I was out there with my dad for about like 2 hours, just practicing. Went inside, took a break, went back out there, did it again, just kind of like get those last kind of jitters and nerves out, just practicing, make sure I just have the right accuracy, then kind of speeding up, make sure I have like the right, grabbing the ball right, throwing it right, things like that, just kind of like the little minute details down to a T. I guess the hardest part was just trying to get footballs rather than having to ask people to donate some. But I had like 4 of them. Then we actually having to buy some others so I can practice with. I would say the nerves set in because, of course, probably the day before the game. Because the day before the game, we have our preliminary throws off. So of course, we have 3 people go to each conference championship game. Then whoever survives the preliminary rounds, the top 2 actually go to halftime. So I guess the day before we had our go to where one kid doesn't go. It's we draw we drew a number out of a hat to decide our order when to go. And one person went, they got their score. Next person went, they got the score. Then finally I went third. And I just which I thought was kind of cool because I got to see how they went, what I can do to kind of improve myself, and kind of see the scores that I kind of needed to beat in order to make myself in the actual final. So if anything, that was probably the most nerve-wracking one because you kind of needed to win the day before in order to make it to the actual game. So I guess that would probably be the most nervous part. As far as actually at the actual game, I mean, it's kind of going back to sports, with me growing up, as an athlete in football, just kind of you just practice how you play. The equipment, giant cans go out, they all the little banners go out first. Then they finally took us out to get introduced. And at that time, I was it's kind of thinking back, hey, you've done this before. You practice how you play. You've done it in the backyard. Just go back to just being in the backyard with your dad, just drinking a soda.
Kylie, are you ready? Raphael, are you ready? 30 seconds on my whistle. 3, 2, 1.
I wasn't too certain of what was going on over there. All I know is that I was trying to focus on myself. And I know I kind of got into a rhythm where I made, I think, 9 consecutive ones. So I kind of just got into my rhythm, just going. Then I think when the white cap, the referee said 5 seconds, that's when I kind of started slowing down a little bit, just making sure I got the last couple ones in. I think that's when I kind of glanced over to see the score, and I was I mean, at that time I tried to keep my composure. I didn't freak out too much. I would just try to oh shoot, hey, I did it.
Woo! Let's see that check! Woo!
And so we went back to the tunnel, it kind of hit me hey, you kind of won it. And I remember I kind of put my hands on my knees, kind of broke down and started to tear up a little bit. But I remember seeing my mom in the stands as well. Seeing them get emotional makes me emotional. So kind of seeing that kind of hey, I did it kind of deal kind of made me a little bit overwhelmed.
It was with a 30-second contest. It's like I said, by the time it starts, it's almost done. And once we saw the final score and realized that he was the one that had won, I think there was a collective sigh. Just kind of you were holding your breath for 30 seconds, and now you were able to actually exhale. But now I think, as it's already been a few days afterwards, I guess now the big word, the word that probably comes up most, at least in my mind, is opportunity.
You know, there's been some guys that have come and gone through the program, but a lot of the guys that were here when Raphael was here were texting each other in our group chat. Well, hey, check it out, all that, everybody would say, oh, that's awesome. Hope he wins. And, when we found out he won, everybody's pretty ecstatic about that. He's a great kid. So, we're definitely excited.
I hope a lot of good comes from it. Of course, just finishing up my undergrad right now, being able to go to PT school in the future, just so I can have that next step into wanting to become a physical therapist. And just with this money, I mean, PT school has always been a thought in my mind, but just this opportunity, this experience that I've had, just makes it even one step closer to actually becoming PT and actually be a little bit more doable and achievable. Because of course, PT school and college in general, it's expensive. And just to be able to have this opportunity with the tuition money, it just feels like I have like everything is within reach now.
So with this scholarship, now he's going to, it becomes a little closer, it becomes a little more tangible, I guess. So as a parent, of course, we want the best for them, and we want to be able to give them anything that they might need, and allow them the opportunity. Now we just have an uncle with the last name of Pepper that's a beneficiary or a benefactor for us, and for that we're appreciative.
Thanks, Dr. Pepper, for the opportunity to change lives. Thanks, and Gigam.